Started. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So in the last class, for those that joined the last class, we had a pivot class doing an introduction to what what data analysis is all about, the essential skill for data analysis, and we brushed that in last class, which is Wednesday. This is just the class two. So for those that are just joining us today for the first time, um, promise that after this call, after this meeting, try and message me or drop a message for me so I can send you the link to the recording, or don't even worry about the link to the recording. We are going to create a repository and everybody is going to get the link the to the to the repository of where the all the meeting link is going to be stored. So that's that about that. Um, yeah. So before we start the class at all, if you have any question regarding anything, you can quickly ask. So let's use that 3 minutes to no to wait to use stylishly wait for some other people to join because we are supposed to be 14 or thereabout in this call. So yeah, any question? Any question before we go deep into the business of today? Okay, so that means there's no question if I'm correct. And yeah, like I said in the last class, please, I want us to uh, have this at the back of our mind. And for those that have laptop, that their laptop is ready, please try and be joining this meeting with laptop. For better view, or if you have maybe pad, I mean tablet, you enjoy with tablet. In essence, just with big screen, so you can see everything that will be demonstrating on my screen, because it's more of like hands-on training, not me having to be doing all the work. And at the same time, I want and I will appreciate if this class can be more interactive in the sense that when I ask question, please, we should be answering this question, and I want us to answer it. Even there is no wrong question, wrong answer, as I always say that there is no wrong answer. Just make sure that you answer, and when you answer, that gives me knowledge, more knowledge uh, about about the question I asked, because most of the time, if I ask the question, it's not that I don't know what to say or not. It's because I want to know the knowledge of the students that I want to pass the information to, if they already have an existing knowledge. If it is knowledge to for them to forget and adopt a new one, or the knowledge for me to fine tune for them to have a more better view of what I'm saying in essence. So that's why I ask question majority of the time that I ask question. And I can say that for the other facilitators as well, that they will be joining us as the program continues. So I will quickly share. Okay, I'm sharing my screen already. So what we have today, what we are doing today, before I go deep into what we are doing today, I'll quickly have to ask some question. So in the last class, let me quickly create a new sheet. Yeah. So in the last class, we did something. We we talked about what and what. For those that joined the last class, can you unmute and quickly run me through what and what you learned in the last class, and have you been able to practice on one or two? I would love to have answer to. Hello. Is there anybody with me? Are we together?
Yes, we are together. Sorry, I'm actually inside
Uh,
the bus, so I can't
oh,
really
it's
hear very
cool.
well like that.
Okay, it's cool. For those that are not in boss, statistically speaking, let me say maybe half of us might not be in boss right now. So I think we should answer the question that in the last class, we talked about some things in the last class. What are the things that we talked about? What are the things that you learned? And have we been able to practice those things that you learned in the last class? So we can move on to the business of the day.
Sorry, please. The question is, what are things we learned from the last class? I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so the last class we talked about Excel, the tabs on the top, the colons, the tabs, the when we looked at the what's it called, the home panel that has the fonts, clipboards, copy pastes, fill, and the rest of that. Then we looked at inserts. We also looked at draw. Basically, we looked at the tools that we use in Excel package. And you said this week will be focusing majorly on Excel.
Okay. Thank
Uh,
you.
I think that is it for now.
Thank
Okay, and we also looked at merging columns, and when you merge them, they have one specific name. I want to believe that every column, every box on the Excel spreadsheet has a name for itself. Like the one that is displaying right now, the name is
Yeah.
A1, identifying, yes, the rows and columns in an Excel spreadsheet. So when you merge four Excel this thing, it takes the name of the top left corner, the name of the top left corner of the spreadsheet.
Okay.
I
Awesome.
think of the merged, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody that wants to add to what Adeboye just said? Uh, Tion, Mr. Great, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Good evening, sir. Good evening,
Okay.
everyone.
Good evening, sir.
She
So,
already, Adi already said a lot about what was taught the other day. And to add to that, we also learned about semantics, data analysis, and also some theory aspects when it comes to data analysis.
okay,
Things like
awesome.
that, sir.
Okay, awesome. Itunu, is that not Itunu? I think that is Itunu. Do you have something to say?
No, because I left the class in the middle of the class the previous time.
Uh, but before you left the class, you learned something.
Yes, they already
Okay.
talked about all the key components on Excel, like margin, all those tools on Excel on the top bar.
Okay. I said it's tab and there's ribbon. And
Yeah.
there's different tab, and each tab has its own ribbon, right? So and
Yes.
let me quickly run us through it. So this is what I mean by tab: this file, home, insert, draw, page layout, formulas, and also anything that you can see right here that is text. So that's what I'm referring to as tab. Then we have what we call then under each tab there are different ribbon under each section. So this one is section for clipboard, and there are different ribbon underneath. So this is section for fonts, and there are different ribbon underneath. This is section for alignment, and there are different uh, ribbon and so on and so forth, and what all of them are doing, right? So is that not what you're trying to say, right? That's what we are trying to say. It means, I guess that's what
Yes,
we're
yes,
trying to
yes.
say. So and
Yes.
exactly. So and exactly. So that's what we talked about in the last class. I said there is ribbon and there is tab, and there is ribbon is attached to tab. And at the same time, we talked about how each cell, what's make a cell in Excel a cell. You get. We talked about the intersection of the column and the and the rows when they intersect. That's what make a cell and a cell. Looking at it like this, uh, A is coming down like this, and one is going straight like this. I mean horizontal and vertical, right? So where they meet is what we call A1. So where A and 2 meet is what we call what? A2. Where A and 3 meet is what we call A3. Where A where B and 2 meet is where we call what? B2. And I mentioned it that if you have something in so if you have something in A1 like 90, like 900, you can reference what is inside 900 into another one. So let's say we want to bring what is inside A1 to B4. If I click on is equal to and I click on it, so it's going to be referencing what is on B4. And upright here, what you can see, saying instead of you saying 900, all you can see is A1. So it's trying to tell us that this is cell, cell is referencing what? Is referencing A1. And I mentioned that this bar here is what we call what? Is what we call format, is what we call format sorry, is what we call formula bar in Excel. Is what we call formula bar in Excel. So that's that about that for now. So I mentioned something that even if I change what is here to, maybe I change it to 80, so you see that it will affect what we have in B4, because still we are still referencing what is here. So even if I say okay, we should make it this way, we should say 80 multiplied by 9 by 10 is equal to, so it's still what? It's still doing whatever I put here. So it's because I don't put is equal to here. So let me put is equal to in front of this. So you see, when the answer of it is 800, then I'm getting 800 right here. Another thing that I think I didn't mention that in the last class, is that you can reference what is inside another sheet. Let's say inside this data now, you get, I want to just get what is, I just want to get what is in D. I just want to get what is in D. D. Let me look for what I can get for. Okay, I just want to get what is in J2, right? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Please can you come
So
again?
I just want to get what is in the J2 inside my data sheet, right? And I explain what sheet is. Did I? I think I do. I think I will explain it again today. So, uh, I want to reference what is in J2 from the data in my sheet one that I just created. So all I need to do is just click on is equal to, and I will go to what? I'll go to that this data sheet, and I'll click on what? I'll click on J2. And right here, you are going to notice that what I have here is data, end with exclamation mark, and J2. So if I click enter, what I'll be getting here is what? I'll be getting the color Ferrari. I'll be, what is this? Yes. So that's what we are going to be what? We are going to be getting. So that's how it works. And it can even work across, it's not across a particular, sorry, it's not by sheet, right? It can work across workbook to another workbook. Let's say we have another workbook that we want to reference something from. So let's go to our file. From our file, I will go to, maybe I go to, this is our information. This is our data. I don't want to open it. No, let me go to somewhere else. Okay, let's click on. So let's say we want to reference what is here. So all we can see here is what is 6C00 what is C00 distance. So if I click enter, let me go back to where I was before. So let's say, so is equal to, then we go to what? We go to the other this thing and we click on this. And if I click enter, you see that C is equal to 000. That's bring it for me, right? So that's how it works. It can work across different worksheets. In as far as the worksheet is on your laptop or the worksheet is in, maybe you're working with Excel online, it can still work. So that's the same thing for those that their laptop might not be as strong as uh, other people that they want to be using Google Sheets. Is that it can still work the same way, right? So I hope this is clear, right?
Yes, sir. I understand, sir.
Okay. So just like what I said on this thing, that we now have what we call referencing, right? So this is exactly what we call referencing. So we now have two type of referencing. We have absolute referencing. Absolute. Is my spelling correct? Absolute referencing and relative referencing. Reference. So yeah, I think someone is trying to join. Okay. So absolute referencing and what? And relative referencing. So we have that in Excel. So what we have here is what we call absolute referencing. So what I mean by absolute referencing is that even if anything happens, this reference cannot shift more than a A2 because I've already locked it. If I shift it to the side, it's still A2. If I shift it to the side, other side is still A2. Let's do it and you see. You see that what I'm still getting is what? Is still what? Is still A1. All the things I'm getting here is still A1. Even if I drag it, I move it to the other side, it's still A1. Even if I drag it to this side and I drag it down to any other side, it's still what? It's still A1. So this is what I mean by absolute referencing. It's referencing to one thing. So then we have what we call relative referencing. Let me click on this and clear it. So that's what we call by absolute referencing. We are still going to see this in action, just trying to introduce us to the concept of referencing, because it will be as we are going on in this class, we are going to grab gets to use it, and we might be wondering what is the difference between this, and it's actually a whole subject, a whole topic on its own that is going to take maybe probably a class on half a class. So but I'm just trying to do an introduction. So when uh there's a possibility that I might not be uh the instructor that's going to be taking the topic. So, but when the instructor is taking the topic, I can be proud that, oh, I've already taught them something like that. They will have idea of what you are talking about. I can be so proud. So please, on that day, when I'm showing my prideness, please, I don't want anybody to drop my hand that day. So please, so you have idea of what relative absolute referencing is. So what I mean by absolute referencing is something like this. So you see, I'm just referring to J2, right? So if I drag it down, oh, I'm coming. Just do it for another one. So let's say is equal to, let's say is equal to, coming, please. So let's say is equal to, and when we say is equal to, we go to our data. I'm looking for the data that's changed. Okay, let's say for this, and we click enter. So you see what we have here is what is January 15, right? So if I drag it down, the data is changing, right? So this is what we call what? Well, this is what we call relative referencing. This is what we call relative referencing. So if I drag it to the side like this, I want to do something. If I drag this to side like this, and I drag it down, you see that what we are getting here. Come here now. So that's that about that for now. So let's say we are coming, ignore error. Trying to see the best way you can explain this. So you can go to, I'm looking for data that changes a lot. Okay, I think we should do this. So I'm referring to this, and if I drag it down, it's changing, right? So let's drag it to the downside, it's changing. But what if I drag it to the side? So you see, when I drag it to the side, instead for it to maintain that same thing that absolute referencing is maintaining, this one will look to the side. And let's go back to our data. This is data IO2, right? So if we click on this, is data P, what? Data P2. And this is data what? Data Q2. So it's expanding the alphabet. It's expanding the letter and it's expanding the numbers as well. So that's how that's the difference between them. So I click on this and I drag it down to this other side, right? Then when I drag it to the side, it's picking sales, and it move on to what? It move on to the month. So and that's what we are getting there, and that's what we call what? That's what we call finish it now. That's what we call what? Is now
Relative reference.
yeah, relative what? Relative referencing. So thank you. So let me go quick into, let me check our agenda for today's class. I'll close this. We don't need you yet. I think I have it open, but I don't know yet. Did I send the curriculum? Okay, I'll add it to the repository. So good. So we've talked about interface, right? Data entry and formatting, right? Then data sorting and filtering of data. Then cell referencing, the one I just talked about now. Data validation and error checking. And we've talked about data condition, or conditional formatting, but I'm still going to go back to it and still talk about it, right? So data validation, let's go back to our Excel. So what, by the name data validation, what do you think I'm referring to?
I think data validation should be the process at which you ensure that a specific set of data is accurate. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is should be.
yeah. You are busting my brain, and I love that. Um, thank you. That's how it is. You are making sure that because as a data analyst, sometimes you might find yourself doing some data entry work, or you might find yourself having to build an exact template for data entry to be imputing data, and you'll be the final person to now work on the data and use it for your analysis or something. If your organization is yes, is a skill to have, right? So and people can be so funny, and error, we are human being, we are prone to, so we are, it's easy for us to make a mistake, right? So and let's say in, you're trying to collate exam score, and you want to make sure that nobody is imputing a score that is what, that is greater than 100. Because of NDA non-disclosure agreement, I actually wanted to show us one project, but let me skip to let me honor the agreement. So I'm going to just build something like that here now. So let's say on this row like this, we don't want what? We don't want a score that is greater than what? That is greater than 100. You cannot impute number that is greater than 100. To do it, all you have to do is go to data after you've highlight the particular place that you don't want this thing to go to be more than 100. Then after under these data tools, can we all see it? Try and make my
Yes, we can. We can
Yes,
see.
I can.
okay. So under this data tool, you open the data tool, then you click on data validation right here, the last one. So when you click on data validation, so you make sure that you put it there that any value, but we are not doing any value, we are doing whole numbers. So when we are doing whole numbers, so because we are doing whole number, right? Someone is trying to join. Okay. So because we are doing whole number, right? So it's asking me between which number and between which number. So, but what I want to do is that I want to do not greater than. Okay, less greater than on this call to so less greater than 100. So it's based on logic, right? So and you can even do
I'm not
something by
seeing your screen.
you cannot see my screen.
Hello?
Oh
I
my
can't
god.
see it. I'm not seeing it.
Let me see. Let me
You
make
can
I
it
try
can
and
see
bigger.
zoom
it
it
from
in. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm zooming it in. Try it if it will work on your phone.
Please do that. Try and zoom it in, please. But let me see a way I can zoom in my own as well. So I think you can, it's bigger right now. So as we are saying, so when you drop down the data validation, you go to data validation. Under this data validation, you see allow. You click on it. You click on O number because it's O number we are dealing with. Now it's based on logic, right? So you see when my data is I click between, it's giving me maximum and minimum. But what I want is I want it not lesser than a particular number or is equal to that number. So I don't want anything that is lesser than uh, I want something that is lesser than that 100 or equal to 100. Anything that is greater than that, it will not, I will not be able to impute it in. So let's say I click OK. So now let's go to our tab and protect the sheet, right? So when we click on OK, when we protect the sheet, so in the place that, so we want to say, we want to write something there. You see, now save because I protected the sheets, right? Because I want to put something there, it's telling me that I cannot even put something there. That's you doing security to your Excel. That's not what I want to explain actually. But let me go back to. I'll still come back to security part of you trying to protect your sheets, right? So I say we protect our sheet, and what we want to do is select unlock. Say yes, you can select it. But what they want to do is that you can select it actually. So let's go back to that. Protect. Go back to protect. You can select it. You can format this cell. You can format the rows and format the column. So this is you doing security, but I'll come back to explain what it's all about. But for now, let's just do a simple stuff, right? Edit object. So let's say we click OK. So right here inside this cell chart you are trying to change is on a protected sheet. To make a change on protected sheet, my empirical requested to enter the password. Okay, let's unprotect it. So let's say, okay, right here we want to this is what I want to do actually. So I highlight some column in this B, right? So look at E E E5. When I put number there, it's take the number. But when I go to B5 and I put that same number there, see what I'm going to get? I'm going to get an error. And what the error is telling me that it's saying that this value does not match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. I
Yes,
think
sir.
let
Yes,
me
sir.
okay. So if we say okay, in this place now, I want to type Yemin there. Still, I will not be able to type Yemin there. Why? Because we can only put number that is below 100 or greater than 100. You see, when I put 100 there, it takes it. When I put 1 there, it takes it. When I put 2 there, it takes it. When I put 44 there, it takes it. But when immediately I put 101, it's going to return error saying that I cannot do it. Saying that I cannot what? I cannot put anything that is greater than what? That is greater than 100. So then there is something that I omit the other time that I intentionally omit it, right? Is that I'll go back to it now. Let's say we go back to, so is that let me go back to our conditional formatting, data validation. So in our data validation, I did something the other time. So if you notice very well, there's something that we call input error, input message here. So if when I click on that input message, I can title it. So to make it easier for people that want to text there to know that, oh, or people that want to edit or work with our spreadsheet or template that we've created, that this particular sheet, this particular cell, I cannot do some things there. There's restriction on it. So we can say validation, and we can call it that you cannot impute what number greater than what? Than 10, than 100. So I'll click OK. So you see, when I overrun on it, you see what I'm getting, right? I'm getting that I cannot what? I cannot I cannot impute number that is what? That is greater than 100. So it make it easy for the people that want to use what? That want to use our the validation, right? To use the template that will be built, that will put validation on, for them to be able to use it and for them to have more information about the cells. It's somehow cringe you trying to do something and you are getting that error. Some people will be like, oh, the template is not working or something, or there is something that is bouncing them back. But with full information, with you guiding them with all this overing, so they will have the idea of what they need to do and what they should not do on the sheet. So let me show you another thing again. So the another thing that I want to show us is that cancel this, is that we are going to go back to this and we still go back to our calculation. But what I want to now do here is that I want to do something. If I put, let me show you something. Still, what I'm getting here is just an overing message. But let's say we put 101. We are still getting error. This value does not match the data validation. But what is the data validation? What is it talking about? So let's go back to it, to this point, and we are going to click on data validation. So what we are going to get is that we are going to get warning. Let's say we are going to get warning. And what we are going to get is, let's give it title. So now let's do it again. You see, if I put on 100 here, it will take it. But immediately I say 101. So now you can see the error I'm getting, right? The error I'm getting is you cannot read AB. You can only input number that is greater than 100. Retry and input what? Write data. Continue. Yes or no. So in this case, I'll just say cancel. Then I'll do what is right. Are we together, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's awesome. Let's try it again one more time. So you see, you cannot read Derby, only impute, and you have to retry it and do what is right. Any question on data validation?
In my own sorry, my own question
Yeah.
is this: does this data validation have because right now you're talking about uh post post input post data, like data that have not been imputed yet. So can I
Yeah.
use it for? Can it also be used for data that is already existing? Like take for instance, I have a I have a data I need to work on, like a already imputed data. Now
Okay.
I want to check to see if the data is accurate. Take for instance, I'm giving the data to work on, and I want to know if there are any numbers above 100. You see, like in this case now, we've not imputed the data as yet. Data have
Okay.
not been imputed yet. Then I can put a restriction to say, okay, you can put numbers above 100. Is there a way that I can check to confirm that, okay, yes,
Yeah,
can I
there
use
is.
this now to confirm that, okay, yes, there is a number, there is an error somewhere, there is a number above 100 in this row?
Yes, there's a way you can do it. Yes. But you will not do it with data validation in that case. So that's what will bring us or take us to the next topic, or let me say next thing that we want to talk about, because it's not as if teaching talked about it. Let's do it together. Let us all have input on this. So we have something that we call conditional formatting. We have something that we call conditional formatting. So in that case, when you have like a pre already data that has already, you have the data already, you just want to work on it, and what you want is that you don't want you just want to you want something that to signify any cells that is more than 100. Is that correct? To show it
Yes,
that, oh,
something
this
like
cell
that.
is more than 100. Okay, so what we are going to do is that you are going to do what we call data conditional formatting. So let's say 10, 69, 70. So let's say this is the data, right? This is what you are saying now. So this is the data that is already pre. You have the data already, like, right? So let me throw bump. So now, before we say, oh, our instructor is throwing bomb. So now, in this kind of case, that you want to show the number that is greater than 100. So for you to say, for you to know that, oh, this is an outlier, just like what I said, right? That this is an outlier, and we need to work on it. We need to change it. We need to confirm that the number is correct, and so on and so forth in our data for before we start the analysis. All you need to do is that make sure that you highlight the cell, the column of that number, the column of the number, the column where you want to do conditional formatting for. Then you come to, I'm looking for, okay, sorry, please. Okay, under home, yes, it's under home. So under home, we have something that we call conditional formatting. I showed us in the last this thing. So you can say highlight cell with a particular rules. So in this case, we want to say you should highlight what? You should highlight cells that is greater than what? That is greater than 100. So I'll say that is greater than what? That is greater than 100. and they should highlight it as what? As red. She made us sure that it is red text or red text with red fill or something like that, sha. So for it to be so sharp, so for us to see it quick, and I'm going to click OK. So in this case now we know that, oh, we see the cell, because we see the cells that are probably an outlier. You get in a, say, let's say is score. We are talking about score now. Score, and we all know that score cannot be what? Cannot be greater than 100. So why are we having all this number there? So maybe the person want to impute 57, and she mistakenly imputes 3, and because you don't put data validation there, right, it allow it. But after you have received the data, you want to make sure that you clean it. So in this case, you might want to go to the manual route of you trying to change it, and also and so on and so forth, right? Or you might go in another, you might use another method, right? You might use another method. I wish, oh, I think I want to show us one function, but we are not there yet. So let me just skip that because I just don't want to be going all around. So for this now, as far as our knowledge is concerned about Excel now, so let me talk about the one that we are going to be familiar with. So in that case, you might want to say, okay, you might want to edit it and change the number. So after you confirm that it is 57 that the person wants to type, so immediately that you change it, what's going to happen is that it's going to fix that for you. So let's say maybe it's 29 the person wants to type, and for this case is what is 44 that the person wants to impute, then it happens. So it clear everything. So for the one that is, say, this thing, so let's say for this one that is 110, so you see it's highlight it back to you having to be what, to have red there, and it signifies as, oh, this cell is above the range of what it should be in the in this column. Does that make sense? Does it? And do we have any question? I believe we get it right. Adeboyega, and anybody in the class. If there's any question,
Yeah,
if
no
you want me
questions for
to.
now.
Okay, so you get I like you now you understand what um how to do it, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So but that still is not the final things to talk about when it comes to uh data conditional formatting. So conditional formatting can be simply defined as anything, as you given your Excel. Let's say it's only Excel that we know now, because we are still going to go deep into it later on. But let's say it's only Excel, yeah, that we know now. So let's say you giving Excel set of information or set of instruction, and if the instruction is not met, it should give you this, and this instruction is met, it should give you this. You should giving Excel set of instruction, and you should follow the instruction and the result of the instruction. Is that simple?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome.
Understood.
Okay, awesome. So if you have any question, please ask before I go more deep into it. So yeah, so in the absence of question, so let's say in the absence of question,
Please, can I ask a question, sir?
yeah, you can, please, you can.
Yeah, I want to ask in a particular, like say, 0 columns, can we have more than one um conditions?
In a particular column, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Yes, we can. And that's what I want to show us next.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So now you know that in this column, in all these column, we have if I put for you to know that we still our this thing is still there, right? So our condition is still there, right? So we want to go back to it again and say, okay, we still want to add another what? Another condition to it. We still want to add another condition to it. So let's say, but in this case, we want to add what we call grid line to it, right? So we are going to click on it and we are going to see our grid line. So we can say we want to add a bar to it to show us the number that is how long the number is progress bar. Okay, let's call it progress bar. So we want to add progress bar to it, and we have to add some other things to it as well. Or let's say we want to even add color scale to it to know which one is closer to this which one. Or let's say in this case self, what we want to do is let's go back. So in this case, we want to make sure that we give them based on how they pass, right? We want to know which one passed the most, right? So let's say, yeah. So by the more greener it is, the more they pass, and the more red is more the more they fail. So now by looking at our data, we can see that this one passed, this one passed, this one passed more, then this one is about to is closing to being failed, and all and all. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at the same time, you can even add icon as well. You can add icon to our shape, to the cell that we are passing. We are giving instruction as well. There are many icon that we can add. So in this case now, it's looking as if we are working with traffic lights, right? Yeah, with traffic lights. So we say green is 100, yellow is 60, all the 60 and all those things. Then we see the one below 50, they are majorly red and all those things. So we know which number is doing good and which number is close to doing good and which number is doing performing bad. So those are the things that we can do with Excel. So we can even do indicator as well. You see, we have indicator, we have red flag, green flag, just like the for those that always have to pick flag. So if you maybe have list of names of people you want to pick their red flag in their whatever they do, you can use this. That's me joking anyways. So that's that, and then you can even do star, you can do bar, a lot of things, a lot of option, a lot of other rules, right? That you can do. So in this case, you can do this one is this one is that, and this one is that. So let me say we go with this and blah. But let me go back to it. I think I'll prefer the data bar, right? I think I'll prefer this. So yeah, you see now we are still maintaining what? Maintaining more than one what? More than one condition. Does that answer your question now? And you get it now?
Yes, sir. Very well, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, awesome, awesome. Anybody with question?
Okay, so this is another one. This is another quick one. Is it possible that okay, look the way this data is right now, yeah, and
Yeah.
there are numbers like just like the question that I asked before. Before I said help identify. Now, is it possible it helps remove on its own? Like when it like notices a number above this thing, just removes the complete row. Is it column? No, complete row and rearrange. Because I know, okay, yes, I can sort like that. I
Mm-hmm.
know it's possible to sort like that. Okay, you sort for a specific number, but is
Mm-hmm.
it possible to sort for um a range of numbers like
Yeah.
1 to
Yes.
100 for only numbers
Yes.
from 1 to 100? And I know that's under, okay, no, that's filter. So is that
Yeah,
sort of
that's
filter?
filter. That's
Yes.
you can call it sort, you can call it filter.
Okay, so is
Literally,
it
literally,
possible?
literally, it's more of like same thing. But okay, sort you can sort to largest to up or smallest to low. But some people we still use sorts in some for some cases. But in as far as Excel is concerned, they are you might not they don't really mean the same thing. Why? But for some other tools that we use actually, which you are going to get familiar with, so sort as well, you can actually call it, you can refer to this as you filtering something. So yes, it's still the same thing.
Okay, so I can like take for
So you
instance,
can
I
filter
have
by
a
color. You can actually filter by color, right? You can filter by color and say the one that is only green is what that you want to see. So, or you say the
Mhm.
one that are not green. So in this case, we say is only number that is greater than what? That is greater than 100 that we want,
Okay.
that we don't want in our Excel any that we want to take out. So and we say that that number that is greater than 100, we have conditional formatting for it to give it red, right? So in that case, we can filter it by color and filter the what? Filter the red out. So once you filter red out, it's going to work that way. Let's say we do it again. We go back to okay. So in this case, we want to filter what? We want to filter, let's say at 90. So we want to filter out the 111 and this one. So instead of us having to be doing it manually, all we have to do is that we introduce what we call what we call filter, and we are going to go to our filter, and from our filter we can filter by what? We can filter by color, and when we are filtering by color, we want to filter by what? This color. So or we filter by what? Filter clear the filter color and should only get the one that are no fill. So you should only get the one with no fill. No. Oh, let me go back to the way I did it the other time. Okay, I should capture this one. This one should be the header, right?
Yes.
I was doing it the other way. Yeah, I think it's worked now. So I can now go back to it doing the color and say, yeah. So in this case now, we we now filter out the numbers that we don't want. I like the way the question are logic. You are wrapping it around logic. What might happen? So I like that.
All right, thank you
So
very much, sir.
so this answer your question, all right? Perfectly, right?
Yes, yes, it does.
Awesome. Awesome. Is there anything that any question on conditional formatting before we move to the next agenda, which I think is is the main business of the day? Any question? Any question?
Good to
Any
go.
question? Okay, awesome. So let me quickly delete this. You are done with this for now. Okay. So then I'll go back to my agenda. So let's see what we have for today. So now we are in module 2, right? And we are in agenda 2. And we have something that we call data manipulation in Excel, right? Because now we are still in Excel. So data manipulation in Excel, in as far as Excel is concerned. So and we are going to wrap everything that we want to say around the Excel. So we are learning Excel and we are going to learn into it. So I just want us to have understanding of what data manipulation in Excel means. So data manipulation in Excel is a powerful function and techniques that we use to manipulate and analyze data, right? So and just like you can read it, it said that this section will enhance your ability to perform complex calculation, clean data, and use logical and lookup function to extract meaningful insight. So for the next few class, we are going to be doing a lot here because majorly this is where you are going to be doing the most of the work when it comes to Excel, right? So in today's class, we are going to be looking into mathematical function. If time permits us, we are going to go deep into conditional function as well. So, but for now, we are going to go deep into what we call mathematical function. And we have different mathematical function. So we have the likes of sum, So you know what sum is doing, right? Sum is summarizing something together, right? Then we have what we call average, and we have what we call mean, and we have what we call mass, count, counter, count, if, sub, total, aggregate. But before I go deep into what we call function, I want to explain something to us. We have what we call function in Excel. Let me quickly go back to my Excel. So we have what we call function, and we have what we call formula. We have what we call formula. We have what we call Excel, and we have what we call what? Formula. Uh, is there anybody in class that can maybe try to explain what function is and what formula is and what might be different between the two? No wrong answer. No, there's nothing like wrong answer or stupid answer or something. There's nothing like that. Please say something. Say something. I just want to have idea of um I just want to know how knowledgeable we are about this thing so I can know where to start my explanation.
Okay. So I'll say a function. A function is one a function. Okay, how do I put this? A function is when you have just one thing done to, like, when you have A and B. Like you have A1. Like, okay, take for instance, you have an item in A1, in column A1. I have another item in column A2. She get, and you want to reference A1 and A2 in, sorry, A1 and A2 in A3. Like, take for instance, you want to sum A1 and A2 in A3. You can just go to A A3 and just type equal to A1 plus A2. I feel like those are functions. Then, sorry, that is like a formula. Then when you go to, that is like a formula. Like when you type A1 and A2, A1 plus A2, then it gives you the sum of what is in the two previous this thing uh columns up, in the two previous cells up. But then a formula is when you, sorry, a function is when you, like, uh highlight a row together and you type sum. And I think that that should be like a function. Yeah, when you type sum and it sums up everything in that particular row that you've highlighted. I'm guessing, I'm not sure.
Anybody else? Anybody? Anybody
Okay,
else? It's not only okay.
I also
Continue.
want to try. I think a function is to me a built-in maybe calculation on Excel. When we want to
Okay.
do something on Excel, if it is sum, it will pick out a particular something, a particular maybe line by itself. Is when we now want to extend that function, or we want to add to that particular function. That is when we can now refer that to as maybe formula.
Okay.
So when we pick this and this together, we now add maybe multiply times this, or so multiply by times this number. So I
Mm-hmm.
think it's now formula.
And I have a lot of smart people here, and I'm happy. I'm happy the caliber of people that join this program. You guys are so wonderful, very smart, and I love that. And I can say the future is bright if we keep it like this, and we on our skill more, and we do uh extra class. Like I mean, extra work after the class, extra findings, extra learning after the class, which I'm still going to get there, but let me just go with what we are doing right now before I move to the advice part, because my mouth can be so sweet when it comes to mentoring and advice, because I want everybody to succeed and I want them to succeed well. So yeah, function is already predefined. Let me do the typing. Predefined. Don't mind my sorry. It's already predefined. Predefined. Predefined, if I'm correct. Predefined formulas. Formulas that in Excel that you can call at any time you need it. That's basically it. Function is already predefined from functions that you can call at any given time that you need it. It's already predefined. It's already at the back end of Excel. It's already part of Excel. You can call it at any time. And we have was it all 3,789 functions, if I'm correct, already predefined function in Excel. Wow. So don't worry. You're not going to learn all the 3,389. No, you're not going to do that. Yeah, but just have it at the mind, back of the mind that a lot of people use Excel. Just like I said the other day that I was showing us the Excel tab and what is inside each tab. Then when I get to formula, when I was showing us different formulas like engineer formulas, accounting formulas, business formulas, logic formula, statistical formula, mathematics and trigonometric, more function and lookup referencing and all sort of that, right? So yes, so we have them. Those are functions like your sum is a function. So there's one thing, another attribute of function as well, is that all the function have what we call doc string. Doc string. What did I mean by doc string? What I mean by doc string is that the document, what was that? The document of the function. Of what? Of the function. Document of the function. Telling you or showing you, let me say showing you, okay, instructing you on how to use function. On how to do what? On how to use the function. Are we getting me? Are we following? Are we
Yes, sir.
following?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, please.
Okay. So there's what we call what? Docstring. And what docstring is saying is that it's telling you and giving instruction of how to use that function. Even if you've never used that function before. By typing is equal to an XUM, and in front of it, when you click in front of it, you are going to see the docstring. And just like you can see now, you can see add all the numbers in a range of cells. That's the docstring. Even you can even double click on it. Come in, please. Okay. You can even double click on it. Okay. So when you double click on it, something is going to show for you at the side of it, saying what? Saying that I'm coming. Telling you more about the function. Telling you on some function add value, you can add individual value, cell reference, or range or mix of three. It's telling you how, it's even showing you how to use it, when to use it, the syntax, the best practice with some and all and all and all and all like that, right? It's even giving you pictorial words, pictorial explanation of how to use it. So that's what we call. That's what we. That's what I'm referring to as docstring, right? So if you notice something very well, so if you notice something very well, right here is an information about formula. I want to copy it because it will be very useful when I get to explaining formulas to us. So that's that about function. So now if I throw the question I asked earlier about what is function, I think we have more things to say now and more structured answer to give now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So another thing about function is that it picks something up. Even if the data is getting grower, the data is becoming much, it's becoming bigger. You will get it's becoming more bigger. It's still picking up. Let's say we have 9, 8. So we want to sum it. Want to have sum of it. So we are now using sum function. Sum, and you open the parentheses. Then you click on this. You click on control. You hold your control button. You click on your shift button. You click on down to highlight the all range of cells that you want to pick. I mean, you hold your control button. When you click on the first one, you now hold your control button. You hold your shift button, then you click on down button. Down button. I mean, all those this thing at the right hand side of your keyboard, down right hand side of your keyboard, the one that you can click to go up, the one you can click to go to the left side and right side and down side. So you click on the one that is down to shift it down. So, and you can even type it. You can even type it yourself. You can call it. You can say G3. So I'm referring to G3 now. You see G3 highlights for us. So then you can put what? You can put uh column after you the first one, the first. Listen now you are doing range. So we can now say G what? G. Oh, it's G10, I guess. G10. Oh, it's G10 I want to type. So G10. Or even I can even say mark everything like this. I can even do like this and do what? And I can say I mark what? I mark everything like this. And I click enter and it works. And it works. You see it works, right? So right here, if I add like 90 to it, it's you see my stuff is changing, right? Notice that this is changing. Do you notice? Let me make it bigger. So if I add number to this, you see that it will change to 1033. See, it's changing, right? So if I add another 100 to it, it changes. Another 100, it changes. That's the usefulness of function. That's one of the usefulness of function. Are we together?
Okay.
Okay. So now let's now talk about formula. Formula is what you do by yourself. What the instruction that you give Excel by yourself, without you using function, without you using what? Periodic function. Oh, let me go back to function before I forgot. You can create your own function different from Excel function. You can define your own function. Maybe there is a particular function that you use a lot in your day-to-day activities. You get. So every time that you type that formulas, every time you have to type that formula before you get it, you can define it. So I call it something. Let's say you want to define a function by yourself. So you go to, I think it's formula, then you go to, yeah, insert function. So maybe you want to, I'm coming, show us a way we do it. Choose formula. I'm coming. I did it. Trying to see where we use to create formulas. Don't worry, I'm going to get it and I'm going to come back to it. But for now, I think some things change on my, there's some things that change on my, what is it called? On my Excel interface. I'm still going to come back to it and get it right. But let's move on. So you can define your own formula function as well. So that's that. Just have it at the back of your mind. So now go back to what formula is. Formula is what? Formula is or what the is set of instruction or set of instruction. Yeah, instruction. Define for Excel to follow or to process. So set of functions, set of instructions you get defined for Excel to follow. So let's say you want to Excel to add cell A and B together. You get that's what it's happen. Excel will do the sorting, will do the instruction for you. So let's say let me give you an example of what I mean by formula. Still on us doing multiplication. So after is equal to I told you something in the last class that without is equal to anything that you are writing in Excel will not see it as what? As function. Even after you say, okay, it's now is equal to, Excel will still not see it as function. But once you start your formula with is equal to, Excel, this place will activate for you. Let me go back to it. You see, this place is not activate, but immediately I put is equal to, it activates. So, and at the same time, you can even do, you can use this as well. Many people don't know it, but you can use dash and still on see, so you still activate. So you can use dash or is equal to, but use is equal to. That's what majority of people knows. So now let's say we want to now add all these things together. See how long it will take, right? So we can now say this cell G to cell this, then to cell this, sorry, then cell this, cell this, then 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 cell this, 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 and you click what? You click enter. You still get what? You still get the same thing that you are getting here. But if I add 100 to this, I click enter. This change, but this will not change. Why? Why? Hello, are we together?
You specify, in the second one, you specify the cell, um, the different cells that should be summed. And the first one you didn't specify. The first one is for the entire
Column.
row.
Yeah. So the first one works with uh you can call the first one more something that is more advanced, right? Something that is picking something for you, something that is adding something for you, something that even as your data is growing with your data. But this one, you can see how long it is safe. It gets to a point, particular point, I was tired. I was tired. So nobody should even be doing something like this. But they have their own usefulness. They have their own what? Usefulness. Let's say we want to, don't mind me, I want to do something quick. So yeah, so let's say we want to multiply this to this. So and I want the answer to be in this column. So we want to multiply what is here to this, 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 what is here to this. So and we want the answer to be what? To be here. So we cannot use function for this case. We cannot say sum or we cannot say multiply. There is no even there's nothing like even multiply function in the Excel. You can create yours as actually, but there's nothing like that. So all you need to do is that you can now use the formula. This is where formula comes in. You can now use formula and say formula. So asterisk stand for what? Asterisk stand for when you are writing formula. Asterisk stand for multiplication. Plus stand for what? Addition. The dash stand for what? Minus. The slash stand for what? Stand for dividing. I'll show us soon. So if I do this now, I'm getting what I'm getting this, and when I double click on it, then it's define it for me, and you can see it's multiplication of this to this is what I'm getting here. So this is where it comes in. So you can say when you are performing something based on row to row, you're trying to do um how do I put it? Context. You're trying to multiply, you're trying to bring something from row to another row, from row to another row, from row to another row. You get this is an this is what you should use. You should use formula. But in the case where you are trying to do a single things together, you're trying to bring a single things together, then you use function for some cases. So this actually depend on the use case, right? So we can say now we want to have the total sum of all these, and we should be using formula to be doing addition. You get to be doing addition. So all you have to do is that let's say total. So all we have to do is that we can be doing this plus this plus this plus this till when. So this is when functional comes in. This is where functional comes in, and all we have to do is that say function, and we click on what? We click on the first one. I hold my control shift and I click on my down, and it pick it to the down side of it. It's highlighting 17 for me. I want 16 actually. Sorry, this is what I want. I want to say is equal to sum my bracket, and I click on this, and I can click on my control shift down. So Control Shift done. So I can say it is 16. So yeah, then I click on enter. So now I have the total, what's the total sum of the entire stuff that is the entire number, this entire number. I have their total sum. If you look at down there, you can see is that it's 9,294, and that's what we are seeing here. And from here, you can even see the average. The average is what? The average is 6. We are going to go deep into average soon. Then we can see what we call counts. But don't worry, don't mind that yet. So that's what we call function, and that's what we call formula. Do we have a full understanding of it right now? Are we together?
Yes, sir, we
Hello.
do.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So that's that. Then what we want to do next is that I want to show us we want to focus on a mathematical function because we have different functions. Just like I said, 3,980 for thereabouts. Yes. So, but for now, we want to focus on what we call mathematical function. For this case, we are starting from the most used mathematical function, which is sum. When you want to get total of something, total of something, total of something, so you use sum. So in this case, we want to say sum. So you say is equal to uh kindly give me, please, give me 2 minutes, please. I need to attend to something. So sorry, please. I'm back. I'm very sorry. So let's go back to it. So, like I said, so in this case now we are talking about mathematical function, and we said we want to uh, explain and show us, or let's do what we call sum. And I believe we all understand what sum is. So sum is us summing, doing sum of range, or summing things together, right? Adding tools together, bringing all of them together into one place. So that's what we mean by sum. It's just summarize, but they cut it short. So let's say sum. So and it's add what? It add all numbers together. And we have other type of sum actually. We have different type of sum, but for this class, the one that we are focusing majorly on is what we call sum, only sum, because we are doing mathematics function. So sum, and what we want to sum, we go into our data, and let me quickly go back to, so what we want to sum is our revenue, which is sum of sale. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to just click on that, what is it called? The column where the sales is. I'm just going to click on the header. The reason why I'm doing this is because if new data comes in, it's going to be picking it up. I don't want to hard code it by clicking on this and clicking on this and end it as at 41,589 rows. I want to make sure that it comes down as far as the data is increasing. Even when it gets to be millions, it will still be picking it up. So that's why I click on what? I click on the P, meaning that I click on the cell number, right? The cell top. So it highlights everything. If I scroll it down, now you are going to see that it's highlight what? It's still the highlight still goes down. Even highlight the one that I'm not, there's nothing there yet. So if something later comes there, it's going to pick it up. So it makes it more what? Make it dynamic. So then I'm going to go back to my, so now I have what? I have the total quantity. Sorry, the total revenue. Let's change this to total revenue. Total revenue that we are looking into. Revenue. So now we have it in total revenue. So we can design it and say, should ignore the error. It should make it to be in the middle. Blah 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 blah. All sort of stuff. Beautiful stuff. It should be in the middle, right? Why is he to the right? Be in the middle, jaw. P in the middle. Can do some other things as well. And make sure that it is in the middle and so on. So let's say for the number is currency and the currency, or let's say the number is even custom and we want to change the number to Naira or something like that. So we can do that. Yes. So it works. So that's how it works. Then we have it. We can. So any question on this? Let's do total quantity. Any question on this? Okay, I take that as no question. So let's say we want to try it again for quantity this time around. So we are going back to it and we say, okay, the quantity should be n, right? So we still click on it and this time around, what's happening? Oh, I didn't put my sum. You see how I'm troubleshooting this, how I'm trying to fix the bug, and I click enter and now I get what? I get the total quantity ordered. Total quantity ordered. And majority of, if because we are counting total quantity, we cannot have decimal, so we remove the decimal from it. And now we know that, oh, we have the total quantity order of 1,181,779 eight product or quantity of all that. Are we together, please? Are we together?
With you, sir.
Okay. So because at the end of this class, I'm going to make this data available for us to download from the repository. So we are going to work with this data. Uh, I don't want to give us assignment yet. We are still doing welcome party.
Yes, we are.
So, yeah. So we are going to have access to this data, and we are still going to do all this calculation by ourselves at the site. Yeah, do whatever you like to do with the data. Is for the class. Is for the class. So that's that about sum. So we use sum to summarize things together to bring all the number together to give us the final output, right? So then we now have what we call counts. So by how it sounds, it's English, right? Count. So is there anybody in class that can guess or just says what he or she understand by the word count, or in in as far as Excel is concerned, now we are dealing with Excel right now. We are already data bender. We are already bending data. So as far as Excel is concerned, what do you understand by count? What do you think count is doing? Yeah, that should be the proper question. What do you think count is doing? Anybody?
Okay.
Anybody?
Yes. Okay. For me, when we say count, count ordinarily is additional of numbers. When we are saying Excel to add particular numbers together, so we are counting it together, and so we now go forward to add whenever I want to add maybe a condition to it. So say count if, we use count if, count if so 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 so. That is when we are doing the conditional. We take it the count forward, but ordinarily count is just to add numbers together.
Okay. Count is just to add number together. Anybody else? Anybody? 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 No wrong answer, please. No wrong answer. Nothing like wrong answer. Say whatever you want to say. We are not going to laugh. We are not going to make jest of you. If you know it, you will not be here. So I don't even expect you to know
Yeah, please,
it.
what's the question again, please?
Oh, please go on.
What's the question? I'm asking what the question is. Sorry,
Oh,
I was
yeah. What do you understand by count? As far as as far as Excel is concerned, what do you think count function is doing? We've done some. We've now all I can say that all of us now know what sum is doing and how to use sum. But what about count? What do you think count is doing?
so count should be when you're trying to like know the number of uh the like when you're counting like uh how do I put this? A particular variable, the number of a uh of a particular, like take for instance now you filtered a data out and you want to know the number of data that is left in
Mm-hmm,
after filtering. You can
mm-hmm.
actually like use count to know the sum of the number of uh of data that is left after filtering.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
you can actually like first filter, then you highlight down to the bottom and use count to know the number of data that is left.
That's awesome. So you actually both of you, yeah, you guys are very correct. Uh, what it's doing is that it counts. You just count. Let's say, let me go back to. I want to see the total number of people in this class. Just total number of people in this class. So what I'm doing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
You
7,
know,
8.
it's like
So that's it. That's just count. I count. That's what count is doing as well. Just how it sounds. Just the meaning of it in English. Count. And count is count. Count is count. So one way an example that I want to show is, let's say we want to know the total number of transactions, because this data is transaction data, right? So we want to know the total number of transaction that we have in this data, right? So all we have to do is to count the total number of transaction, right? So all we have to do is just go to what? Go to this place and do is equal to, and we count. We have different type of count as well, but for today I will be explaining what count and counter. The other count is for another class. So but today, I'm sorry, please. For today, we have count the number of cells in a range that contain numbers. That's the doc string of count. What count is doing is that count the number of cell in a range that contains number. So if the cell content is not number, Excel will not count. Count will not count it. Does that make sense? So it only works with number. So let's go to it. So because this is number, is going to what? Is going to count it. So let's say we're now counting this, and we close it, and we count it. And we have what? We have 41,586. That's the total transaction that we have in the data. 41,586. Does that make sense? $41,586. Do you know why I'm getting 587 here, but in my count formula I'm getting what? I'm getting 586. So that means there's one number difference. I want someone to answer this question. It's very, very kind of like logic, but it's very simple. It's so glaring.
The extra one is on the header.
I wish I can clap for you from here that you can hear me. I wish I can clap for you. That's it. It's for the header. And normally we don't have to count the header. You don't have to count what? You don't have to count the header. So let's say, okay, let's imagine that header is not sorry. Our ID that we count is not is not text, it's mixture of text and number. So let's use another this thing. Let's use another column. Let's use this salesperson column. So if we count this, what we are going to get is what is going to be 0, because there is no what, there is no number there. So that's solution. That's used. That's Excel doing its work. It's so strict with instruction that the formula is doing, right? So in this case where your count, your number, your column that you want to count is not pure number. It's just is mixture of number, text, or just text. So you can use what we call count that end with what? That end with A. So what counts that end with A is doing is that count the number of cells in a range that are not empty. Are we together? Class, are we together?
Please, can you come again on this?
Counter. What will you use counter for? I mentioned it that just like we have here, we are using count here, and what count is doing here is that it's counting the J just like what we count here, but we are getting 0, right? Because count only recognize what? Only recognize number. Cell that contain number. If the cell is not the content of the cell or the value inside the cell is not number, it will not count it. So I now introduce us to what we call counts that end with A. We call it counter. So what counter is doing is that counter counts the number of a cell, or count the number of cells in a range that are not empty. Does that make sense? So if a cell is not empty, it will count it. Concern maybe number, or if it is text, or if it is anything, is none of its concern. Brotherly, shey you hear me? So if it is text, it will count it. If it is number, it will count it. If it is mixture of text and number, it will count it. Just make sure that the cell is not empty. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It
Yeah.
does,
So
sir.
now, sorry. So now, I want to use it now to count what the cell that we count the other time. So if I click now, you see now that I am now getting what? I am now getting the numbers. Wait. I'm now getting number. But in this case, self, I want to do something. I want to minus it by 1 because I don't want to count I don't want to count the headers. So I'm going to minus it by 1. Does that make sense?
Yes, very well. It does.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So let's quickly touch average. Let's quickly touch average before we call it a night. So is there anybody on this call that understand or can explain what average?
What's your name? Sorry. Yeah? Philip. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm méjì yìí níbo ló wà tẹ́lẹ̀?
As a meeting, Mr. Okwe. When the stop class. So is there anybody in class that can explain what average is? What do you understand by average? If I say average, we use it a lot. We say on the average, Bruno Fernandes is an average player. Something is an average player. Kariboye is an average teacher. All I mean is kinikon. So on average, we use it a lot. We argue when we are arguing. We use it a lot. So what do you understand by the word average?
Okay. To me, average is the total additional of numbers divided by the total number of entries. So if we have for a particular zero or column additional of that, so if let us say it's totally 100 and we have them to be on maybe 10 different zeros, I don't know the one that is straight, maybe 10 different columns, if we have them to be there, so it will just be 100 divided by 10 and 10 will be your average. So to me, that is average.
Awesome. Thank you. That's it. So average is what we call it mean. Average is statistical function that we use to get the middle or the center of tendency of numbers, of range of numbers. We call it center of tendency. Oh, now good. I have what to give as an example as assignment. So we call it center of tendency to get the center of tendency of number of range of numbers. So is an addition of all numbers divided by the count of the numbers, right? So we have let's say we have 1 to 100. Then we want to find the average. So it's going to be 1 to 100 get divided by what? We're going to add 1 to 100 together. We add 1 to 1, 1 to 2, that's 3, 3 to clinical, 3 to. Then we add everything together. So this is how it is 1, 2, 3. So let me mark it like this. And I'm going to drag it down to when I reach 100. I think, oh, I'm getting too much. Okay, awesome. So to find average of this, what we are going to do is, if you want to do it when doing it like you doing the calculation, so you are going to do this, and you are going to click, and oh, sorry, I meant to sum it. So I meant to sum it. We are going to do sum.
Hello.
Hello, you are with
We're
us?
talking about the definition for average earlier, ba?
No, someone have already answered. No worry.
Okay, sorry. I
So
was
then we have it. Then what we need to do next is that we are going to say count. So if you want to do it, you having to be doing it with pen and paper. This is how you do it. So now you will now say this divided by this to get your average. You now say this slash slash this, and so 50.5 is your average. So instead of you having to be doing all this, you can quickly say average for you to know how simple Excel have made our life. So we just come down and we click enter, and we are going to get our average. Is God not God not wonderful? Mr. Okwe, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. So yeah, this is average, and that's how average works. So let's say we want to do average of quantity sold. So we can say quickly go to sum, and we click on average quantity sold, and we click enter. Uh, we are we are meant to do average. Open it and close it and click enter. So we have average of quantity sold. So we can reduce the number. So we have, so on the average, we sell 28.4 quantity. Is that, are we together? Are we together?
Together we answer.
Awesome. Awesome. So I think that will be all for tonight. Please, I want us to always, okay, how many of us checked our mail before we joined this class today? Do we all get the class invite?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I
I
did.
did.
I did get
Oh, okay. So we should
Hello,
have the
Papa.
habit of we
Eh?
should oh,
Ben.
we should have the habit of checking our mails, please, because that's where we are going to be sending. I want us to have to be familiar with it. I want us to have it as our bread and butter already. So it will not be so strange to us when we are working in a work environment, or you have a gig or a contract with someone, says you should work on this project with them, and they are sending you mail and you are not checking your mails. So it's mail that I'll stop sending meeting link to WhatsApp. So we will all be getting it. It's already automated. For you don't think I will be sending that mail to everybody one by one? No, I automate it. Everybody's getting mail on the day of the class. Those that have paid, they will get mails that's different from those that have not paid. So it's already predefined. So we should be getting this and we should be using it. We should be encouraging that. You get? So you get mails. So that's your mail is where you are going to be getting the meeting and the class invite. Your mail is where you are going to be getting your uh think about it, all I mean. Where you are going to be getting your class invite, right? Your mail is where you are going to be getting your assignment. Your mail is where I'm going to send the repository link. What I mean by repository is that all the classes that we will be having, the material that I use for that class, the link will be added to repository for that class day. The assignment for that class will be added to it. The link to the recorded video will be added to it as well. So anytime that you need the material or you need the link to the class or you need the assignment related to the class, you go there and you watch the video, you download the material, you do your assignment. So to submit your assignment, I'm going to communicate on how to submit assignment later. I'm trying to fix it because all these things that we are doing, I'm paying for it. So the more we use it, the more my money will be for it. So please let's just encourage that. So don't let me waste uh my kukushi, my number, my naira. So please we should do that. Thank you. And thank you everyone. So we get the mail tonight or tomorrow morning before noon tomorrow. We should get the repository. Any question?
So my question is, please, do you have an
Any
assignment, and what's the
question?
assignment, please?
I'm going to send it to the mail. Don't worry. So we are going to get the mail for the assignment.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you very much.
Any other question? Mr. Odion, why are you open your mouth? Mr. Great, what happened?
Assignment. Scared of assignment.
You will get it too, don't worry. Think we are not playing here. So let's
No,
all have a wonderful night rest and see you on Wednesday, and I pray that our week will be
Please,
blessed.
I have a question. Is it possible we get like the curriculum? Let's know what we are doing ahead of time so that we can like uh look into it in our free times, if that
Uh
is possible, please.
okay. I'll add that to the repository.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And please, if you have not paid, pay. So we should all have a wonderful night rest, and our week is blessed in Jesus' name. Bye, everyone.
Amen.
Stop the recording.